I will welcome everybody that's here in person and those that are accessing the class through Zoom. I'm glad that we're all together in this beautiful grove. It feels magical to me. I hope it feels like that to you. And looking out at each of you standing, it's like you're each your own gorgeous tree. So that's a great image to have as we practice, because you've got that sense to be able to root and go down as deeply as you can. And then also, the branches of the tree reach outward, sometimes upward. And this is our opening reading. And this is from 7,000 Ways to Listen, Staying Close to What is Sacred by Mark Nepo. We make a space inside ourselves so that being can speak. Martin Heidegger. We make a space inside ourselves so that being can speak. So among many things, we want this to be a spacious practice. Mostly we are caught in a storm of activity, for we live in the world and are always drawn above and below and in between. Yet when we can stop talking, when we can stop mapping the chatter in our minds, when we can descend into that wordless current of being, we start to see oneness. When we can spend enough time below the noise of the world, even though we have to return, then we might be blessed to experience the oneness. So sometimes getting quiet enough to glimpse the oneness and getting even more quiet to experience the oneness. So I would love for that to be our experience individually this morning, is to feel, at one with nature, or indoors at one with your beautiful space where you're practicing. So let's take left hand over the heart. And each of you bring forward into your own mind your own aspiration for the practice, your own intention. Or maybe it's more your language to think about dedicating your practice to something, a cause, or a virtuous quality that you want to manifest more fully in your life. And gather right hand on top of the left, and just pause with me to send energy of love, peace, and kindness out into the world like a ripple in a pond, and our thoughts create those ripples. And so even as we move today, may the energy of gratitude and good health and openness, peace and kindness ripple out from this place out into the world. And let's slide the hands right on down and put the hands on the hips. Take your feet and reset them several times until you can feel that your toes are pointed forward, that your feet are a little wider than hip distance apart. And those who might be practicing in a chair, you're going to plant your feet in the same manner. And then you're going to sink our weight down into the feet. So as opposed to like actively pressing down, just think about sinking, right? So as we sink downward, maybe we even just drop our height by an inch, sinking our attention into our feet, our soft knees, allowing the tailbone to sink down toward the earth like it's another root growing from the tailbone. And then from that, as you breathe in and out, you can feel a lifting, maybe an expansion of the spine that continues all the way up into the head and beyond the crown of your head. And then starting to envision that Tai Chi pole that runs beyond the crown of the head, down through the very center of your body, kind of tracing your spinal cord, down through the pelvic floor into the earth. And then taking your hands down now by your side, give them a little billow so you can feel that there's possibly some space between your side body and your arms, and then let your fingers dangle. So this is Wuji. It's a posture that represents emptiness, and it's from emptiness that we move. So allow a gentle smile to come to your face. Intentional smiling can be a practice, could be a spiritual practice. It kind of opens the door to gratitude and some sweetness usually. You want that smile from the face to spread through your eyes, kind of shine down into your heart. And we'll move with intention and grace more than force. We'll continue to allow the breath to sink down into the belly. So I'm going to start by twisting. Twisting and flapping, and giving ourselves the gift of waking up slowly this morning. No rushing, nowhere else to go, nothing else to do right now. And in these early moments of the twisting, pay attention to your knees. So if you don't have any, aches or pains in the knees, or you're not concerned about it, then you can disregard my comment. But if you have concerns with your knees, you might want to keep a little more stationary, pointing forward with your knees, and let your twisting take place from the waist upward. I think that could be, a good thing to do. And if you want to kind of bend and lift through the knees a little bit, bringing this more and more into a full body movement. Loosening up your spine. Inviting your imagination to shift off of the checklist that you wrote down this morning of what you need to do, and use your mind's eye to really relate to the parts of your body that are in motion. Your spine, your arms, and letting your elbows bend and feeling how the hands slap or pat against the body. And so going with your instinct, if it feels like a lot of sensation will help you wake up better, then it could be a little firmer with the connection of the hands to the body. We're kind of stimulating the movement of our chi, our energy, as well as kind of tapping and turning on the electrical currents in the body that run through the meridians. So we can have our movement benefit our circulatory system, our respiratory system, our immune system, and so forth, and impact positively every organ in the body. So let's let the elbows bend and make sure that you're getting some points where you're tapping on the low back, so the deepest curve in your spine. Make sure when your hand comes back that you're making contact there. And then we will wind our way up the pole slowly. So let that back elbow bend and let that back hand tap, as far up the back body as you can, and feel that front hand coming across ribs and chest. Let's add some purging breaths into the nose, out through the mouth. Could be a ha sound, or it could be blowing out through a straw. We're taking in and we are purging, taking in this positive, beautiful energy, exhaling it out. Circulating. And maybe coming up a little higher. Every place that your hands tap your body is potentially a point to energize, to release tension, unblock, like unkinking a hose to get things flowing. And then we'll wind our way back down the pole. Don't forget those purging breaths, they're important. Wind it back down and return to Wuji. And if you're comfortable enough to close your eyes, sometimes that really will help you experience your body in other dimensions besides sight a little more fully. Feel how your feet are ever more connected to the ground. These chi gates, gateways, soles of the feet, palms of the hands. Angle your hands toward the ground just slightly so that your palms mirror your soles of your feet. Feel that little bend in the knees. It activates the leg muscles gently. Sink your breath into your abdomen. Keep your spine nice and long. Your chin drawn in just slightly to create that lift through the skull. Wuji. Let's release that and start to shake like a tree. Right? And we want to be as loose and jiggly as possible. Shaking out tension from the muscles, toxins from the joints. You're kind of shaking off anything that you're carrying with you. Doesn't need to have a name. Anything you're carrying, just a little too heavy for today. Take it off. It's just also a purging exercise, so very good to breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Right, freedom is one of the fruits of this practice. Freedom, spaciousness, contentment, peace, feeling of kind of oneness, all that's good in the world. If you want to stay a few more moments here and bring the bounce a little deeper, feel free. Just listen to your body. You only had 1 minute between meetings. Do this. Slow it on down. Ooh, feel your energy all buzzy and hummy. Hummy and yummy, hopefully. Bougie. Find that dynamic stillness. I wouldn't be surprised if, like me, you find yourself in this position from time to time in the course of a day, and you just want to stand and reconnect with this feeling of being fluid and solid, gentle and strong. Nice. Another early purging exercise. Let's take our fingertips, top of the head, and let's just tap. All 10 fingertips tapping. Right. I don't know if anyone here has training or a tapping practice, but I do know quite a few people that use tapping to help with emotional difficulty, anxiety, and things like that. You know, our purpose here in tapping is awakening the energy so we can have a free flow. But in the course of doing so, maybe there are some other benefits. Get the base of your skull, sides, right of the skull above the ears, into the temples. Tap your forehead, eyebrows, down around under to cheekbones. Face, just tapping away tension, jaw, chin, down the neck into broader palms, coming down right over the chest, right beneath the shoulder blades, either palms or fingertips. Or you can knock with fists. You're just going to do whatever feels right for you. Purging exhales every so often. Right arm out to the side, left palm comes across and really broad, probably lots of sound, lots of contact, left palm down the forearm of the right hand to the palm. Turn it over, tapping up, removing congestion. Pause here, get over that shoulder. Come across center, switch hands, right hand. Left arm. And we stay soft with our gaze, soft with our jaw. The relaxation practice. Across the center and then down. Chest, ribs, abdomen, and side waist, low back. It could be open palms, it could be fists, so you could be slapping or knocking. Spending just a little extra time here in the low back, kidney and adrenal area. Kidney is considered to be our batteries, our power center for life in this tradition. And then open palms down, sides of the hips, outer legs, tops of the feet, inside of the legs, back to the groin. And just staying right here, right down in the hip creases. Bend your knees a little bit. And just a pat here. Opening the qua, one of the energy gateways. Nice. And then release and just sweep off. It's kind of, it's metaphorical, but just sweep, 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 like the final cleaning. Anything that might have stuck to us. Nice. And let's come into spinal cord breathing. So reposition your feet any way you'd like. I just want you to keep resetting your feet once in a while so you can be in contact with your footing. And let's take the elbows to shoulder height. Spread your palms open, and we practice with space between the fingers the whole time, almost the whole time. More surface area for chi, a little back bending. And then curl your fingers in, and we are going to give a squeeze here. As you round, bring your forearms together, look down, bring your elbows towards your pelvis. We're going to flow like that, adding the breath and moving slowly to take good care of your back. Inhale, open up. No need to overdo. Exhale, bring it down, squeeze. And then find that flow for you. Spinal cord breathing, lymph pumping, getting our spine to open because the spine is the highway for the chi in the body. We want that highway nice and clear. No obstacles, no roadblocks. Just the right amount of traffic. Several more times. And as I said, listen to your body. Make your motions, as expressive or as mild as what's called for you today. One more time. Beautiful. And this time whenever you land with your arms open, take your arms out. So this is heart to the universe. Float your chin up a little bit. Nice. And then turn your palms down, roll forward, make like a bird's beak with your fingertips. This is drinking bird. So fold forward, send those beak fingers back behind you. We're just going to flow like that. We're going to roll up, heart to the universe. Breath comes in, drinking bird, round, scoop, send the fingertips back. Nice. Let's flow like that a few times. Heart to the universe. Drinking bird. Continue to expand your breath. Feel, stay connected to your hands and feet. Portals or gateways for chi to enter the body, particularly sensitive areas. And the heart is also a gateway for chi into the body. Okay. Let's do one more time of this flow. Heart to the universe. Drinking bird. This time when we're down, we're going to stay down. Widen your feet. If you need to support a sore back, put your palms on your thighs. If you're not concerned about that, your feet are widely placed. And we're going to do flow like a river. So we're going to shift our hips side to side. Encourage this downward draping of your torso. And you can sway your hands around a little bit. If you're up in a modified position with your hands on your thighs, you can still do move like a river, right? Flowing motion. If you're all the way forward folded, make sure that your head gets to sway around a little bit too. Chance to decompress the spine. Feel that nice flow side to side, maybe opening up the inside of each leg a little bit. Okay, so let's slow that down. We're going to roll ourselves back up slowly and put our palms right down here. This is a hand version of Wu Ji. So step your feet wherever you'd like them. Okay, settle and notice. This hand position is called Big Bear. think we should call it Mama Bear. So let's rise the hands up. Breathe the breath in. Exhale, roll your wrist to turn your palms down. Exhale, gently press down. So stay with that simple flow, giving lots of attention to the sensation of your hands. So if you're kind of moving from the wrists, you might be able to feel your hands floating through the air. That opening reading that I gave you about listening. So listening to the felt sense in the body, kind of listening, if you will, to sensation. And where our focus and our attention goes, energy flows. So if we're giving our mental attention to our body, we are attracting good, healthy energy into the body. A few more times. This is fire and water interact. The heart's considered to be a fire organ, and the kidneys are water, sort of flowing between heart and kidneys. So we're going to come into another flow. You bring your hands up, press your palms forward, kind of sink your chest, and then lift your hands softly up and out. Bring them down. Bring your hands by your sides of your waist. Look down, and with a scooping gesture, draw up from the earth over the top of your head. Hands washed out. So big bear catches fish. So inhale, come on up. Exhale, gently forward. Inhale, open up. Exhale, hands by your side. Inhale, reaching down to scoop up. Exhale, wash that energy down. So we're going to stay with that flow for a bit. So we are coming into balance between earth and sky, fire and water, expansion and contraction. And you can breathe natural. You don't have to breathe the way I'm describing. I'm just telling you what works for me, because this is my practice. I just transported it out here to share it with you. But this is what I do every day. Try to do around 8 o'clock. Inhale, come up. Moving, health enhancing meditation. Let's remember, you don't need to over effort. You want the equation to be such that you're spending less energy than you're receiving. We want relationships like that too, right? We're receiving as much or maybe more than we're spending. Up and out. Such a beautiful gesture, really. Wash it down. One more repetition. Please bring your hands back to face the earth. Eyes are open or closed, whatever makes you most sensitive to energy, most connected to yourself. And then allow yourself to connect to the earth force. Right? Science might call it gravity. So then gather your hands out to the side, up to the top rather, and shine your palms up. Just connect with that heaven force, the atmosphere, the oxygen, the air in our biosphere. And then if your body lets you, interlace your fingers, press them upward or modify. Come up on your toes, sink back into your heels. Do that twice more. Opening up down through the feet, and it's a little tippy. Come on up. And then when your feet sink back down and you softly bend your knees, side bend to the right. Slowly come back to center, always noticing when you're back centered before you start the other side. Lean left. So let's travel through that a few times. You could certainly have your elbows much more bent. You know, having the palms tip slightly up, I think is beneficial, but you certainly don't want to strain the shoulders. Once more on each side, opening the sides of the spine. Say it's easy for energy to be stuck in the sides of the spine. I think we don't side bend as much as we do other kinds of movement with the spine. So bring your palms down, give a little shake. Don't want to gather any congestion into the shoulders. Okay. And then a little more side bending. So back to Wuji, nice feet, sinking everything down toward the ground. And then tipping your right ear upward, your head falls left. Traveling through center. Tipping left ear up, head falls right. And traveling back and forth between these two. Make it as smooth as you'd like. Okay, we open up the neck, always a great time to remember not to clench our teeth, to keep there be a softness through our jaw, interior of the mouth. Next time we are leaning over to the left. We're going to pause at whatever degree works for us. If you want to give your left arm kind of circling around a spiral, encouraging looseness through left hand, wrist, elbow, shoulder. And then just let that movement of the left hand die down. Stay side bent if you'd like. If you want to cross your right arm in front of your right chest and turn your nose down, just see if that stretches into as part of the right side body that feels good. Slowly restack your spine. Just take an in breath and out breath back to neutral. Good. Let's side bend to the right, letting that right hand drift down. Good. Spirals or circles with your right hand. Nice and loose through fingers, wrists, elbow, shoulder. And then if you want to stay here, another couple of breaths, turn your nose down towards your right hand and let your left arm cross over. Really, really drapey, like a side bending ragdoll. And then let's restack. The hands to your hips. Reset your feet. Yes, and hip circles. So such a simple movement. It's a chance to check in. Do you feel a little more in your body? Your feet feel a little more solid on the ground. Something starting to loosen up in your anatomy, even in your mindset. A little more present to your environment. And then reverse the opposite direction. All about flow. And then bringing that back to center. Let's step the feet a little closer together, plant into our feet. Good. Our palms down over your lower abdomen. And then just practice flowing. So bamboo in the breeze. No breeze this morning. Just let your body drift. So it's a practice of letting go, not forcing, but kind of following where the currents of energy in the body might lead you, and observing how you instinctively know how to come back to balance. Pause. Check in. We're halfway through our practice. Love midpoint check-ins. Affirmation is, I am here fully, body, mind, and heart. Every breath I take, I'm facilitating my healing and well-being. We'll release the hands from where they are. Take a fresh step and we'll move into our Tai Chi 5. Good to mention that you can keep your feet planted and just focus on moving the hands, or those of you that are kind of getting the hang of the 5 moves in the Tai Chi are welcome to kind of sidestep and challenge your balance a little bit, but kind of not at the price of getting confused with your hands. Right? So let's warm up the hands even further, maybe a little clap. Summer day outside. That's enough to clap for. Good. And then we're going to really carry our sense of our hands and the energy collecting in the hands as we move. We're starting with the hands over to the off to the left hip. And we've got the right hand facing up and the left palm facing down. I just want you to hang here. If you're way out here, it's going to be a little more work than necessary. I like to feel it, right off the hip. And take a moment to notice that you are forming a ball, a chi ball. And there could be the felt experience of energy between your hands. Maybe you don't feel it. It's there regardless. So we're going to be moving, cultivating, kind of almost like stretching and massaging our own life force energy, as well as adding to it from the atmosphere around us. So first one is harmonizing yin and yang. So we're going to be starting to turn to the right, start to rise with the right palm. And then the whole body just rotating around that pole. When you come over to your right hip, turn your palms to face each other, right hand on top, left hand on the bottom. And that's what we're going to do, from flowing from side to side. Starting to turn left, left hand rises, right hand follows along, reform the ball, palms facing each other. Good. Let's inhale as we come across, harmonizing yin and yang, earth energy and heaven energy. Good. You might like to inhale as you're kind of stretching this chi ball. Exhale as you reform the ball. Inhale, come on around. And if my rate of movement doesn't suit you, you can go at your own pace. I do encourage you to go slowly. So it takes a certain amount of concentration to move in that slow and meditative, smooth, even pattern. Keep that length to your spine, that ease across your chest, soft through the shoulders, wrists, all the joints open and easy. Just notice as your field of vision kind of pans from side to side, open to interacting with what's around you, right? If you're home, maybe there's a house plant in the room that you can interact with visually. And out here, there's so much, it's quite a sensory environment. We're going to stay with this longer, but if you want to start that weight shifting, as you turn to the right, you could put weight into your right foot. And as you start to turn to the left, you can put weight into your left foot. If you feel really fancy, you can lift the right foot off the ground. And there we go. Makes it a little bit more complex, and some people respond well to that, some not. So with the weight shifting and the moving of the feet, it'll look a little more familiar to you, as you might have seen Tai Chi in the parks in China and other large Asian cultures. You're often walking a little bit forward, a little bit back, moving as a group. Meditate for a few moments on that word harmonizing. Maybe there's just parts of each of our lives that would do well to have a little more harmony, things working in concert together. peaceful coexistence. One more pass each side. If you've ever rocked a baby, this feels a little bit like rocking our own baby. Coming over to the left hip, pause where you would be. Roll the ball, 1/2 turn. Now your right palm's on top, left palm's on the bottom. Pause to feel the energy between your hands. And brush knee, send chi. So as we turn around our pole again, around the center channel, right hand comes down to brush right knee as the left hand sends chi out to the right. Left hand fades down, right hand rises, and the same thing on this side. Brush knee, send chi. There we go. Follow your own natural instinctive breath pattern. Feel the weight shifting. Take good care of your knees if that's a concern. And if you liked that weight shifting into kind of lifting a foot, so it's a little kind of walking in place, feel free to do that. It's engaging. And the send chi, maybe sharing a little bit, not too much, but a little of your acquired chi this morning outward in some direction that matters to you. Really a prayer of sending chi. And notice it looks beautifully different on each one of us. We're staying as relaxed as possible. So it's minimum effort. We say no more than 70% effort, 70% range of motion. If you're really interested in increasing range of motion, sometimes something like a gentle yoga class would be a good place to do that. But here, we're just really thinking about staying soft and loose and circulating our energy. And a couple more passes, brush knee, send chi. We meet up in the middle in that protection cross. We're crossing the forearms or the wrists right in front of the heart. You could slide your eyes closed. And just this moment to know that it's okay to protect our energy when necessary. Cutting through to clarity. Let's pivot the elbows out and feel your hands right alongside your ears in that vicinity. And the fingertips point up like blade, creating a blade with each hand. And when the left thumb comes back, the right hand goes forward. And you can look forward if you want, like you're aiming at something and you are seeking clarity. And then it shifts. The hands come back alongside the head and right thumb comes back, left hand comes forward. So you can go ahead and modify that. Just make it work for your body, make it work for your intention. Make sure that you always come back to those slow, deep breaths, even after you've listened to instruction, which sometimes gets us holding our breath because we're paying such close attention. You can just call in that quality of clarity. That ability to see things as they are, to get at the heart of the matter, to find what's true in any moment. Cutting through distraction. That noisy mind, cutting through that into that place of being able to see and hear clearly. Let's bring that back to center. Float your arms down. Just give a little shake. If any of that is, working your shoulders a little excessively, just want you to shake that off. Nice. Into cloud hands. So let's have off to the left hip. Your left hand can face down or can face in. People do different things. But the top hand, I'm most interested in having your right palm facing toward chin, neck, heart, this upper area. Fingers are relaxed wide open. And then again, we're rotating around the pole, the Tai Chi pole, which is the spine, rotating to the side. And then the right hand fades down, the left hand rises. And we rotate. And settling our awareness deep into our hands. And gathering chi. Long, slow, deep breaths. Breath has sunk into the abdomen. Like we're swimming in this beautiful ocean of chi everywhere. You could weight shift if you want, if it makes it more enjoyable. Notice that when the hands change, that dissolving of one hand and the rising of the other, and what a lesson in impermanence that is. Things are always changing, always flowing through expansion and contraction, flowing between day and night, light and dark. Any given moment flowing through our capacity to be strong and then our capacity to be gentle. I invite you to feel like an artist painting, and your medium is chi. Is that a good analogy, Priscilla? We've got artists in our company, and so you're just kind of painting with your fingertips. Take another pass or two. Really want you to feel that quality of fluidity. Let this fluid quality inform your entire day today. Going with the flow. Beautiful. We're going to end up facing forward in that protection cross, just kind of regathering our energy into our heart portal, heart gate. Nice deep breaths, conscious of the ground beneath us, sky above us. And then the last of the 5, integrating yin and yang. Let's take the arms out to the side. Those nice billowy arms, soft knees, reach down any amount. And as you breathe in, drawing earth energy into the body, pausing for a moment. Next in breath, reaching out, gathering in heaven chi, inspiration, washing it down. So that's our flow. You're going to go at your own pace, move your body the way that feels good for you. You're really connected to that quality of deep breaths. And the movement alone has great value, but when you add a mindset or even your own quiet, like affirmation or a prayer to the movement, it gets really powerful. What do you need to receive from healing resources of the earth? Where do you need wisdom, guidance, right? A sense of open expansion and creativity. Simplicity and gratitude for just a body that's able to move through this range of motion. So that moist morning air showering down, touching your skin. Let's take another round or two. It's tranquility. So let's land with the palms over the lower dantian, the lower abdomen just south of the navel. As part of integrating, digesting our practice as well as our life, I'd like you to take your hands and move them toward the right hip, up the right side of your rib cage, across and down the left. So this is the general direction of digestion. So you can just imagine that you are facilitating, your anatomical digestion. But you also might have a lot of life experiences of late that you've been a little too busy to digest. I'm just acknowledging that that might be helpful for you to create a little quiet time to process life. Let's bring the hands down to rest back over the lower abdomen. All that chi that we might conceive of that we've collected in our palms is really being pressed into the body. We're holding here, but it's going all the way through the body to the low back, charging the kidneys, charging our batteries. And then tipping the right palm up. It's like a cup that holds, I'm going to call it a wisdom cup. And you take the left arm out and up, bring it up overhead, straight overhead, and then draw a straight line down, tracing that channel, right, from heaven to earth, right down through your body. And then you're going to switch hands. Left hand forms that wisdom cup, right arm comes out. Exhale, drawing down, receiving. Right hand forms the cup. Left arm comes out. This is a gesture of centering. When you're ready, right arm. One more time, this time with a few stops along the way. So left arm comes up. Draw down, stop at your forehead with your thumb, or your third eye if you're comfortable with that language. Pausing here. It's having that attention that your mind stay clear today. Draw your left thumb down to your heart. Intention that our hearts stay open. Right? And then rest that left hand down, always coming back to wisdom. One more time. Right hand comes up. Drawing right down. Pausing. Blessing the thought life. Heart, blessing our relationships. And then right hand down under the left. So let's let go of the effort of that and have a seat either on the ground or on the chair. I've got extra blankets over here. Very happy to toss them out. This is a practitioner's choice. If you would like to lay down on your back and just become still, like Shavasana style, you can certainly do that. If you'd like to do a little self-massage, which in my training in medical Qigong, we're encouraged to do a little self-massage toward the end of class. So let's start with ears. Probably neglected, hang an earring in each ear. try to keep them clean, but we don't really massage them usually very often. So we're gonna kind of each explore it ourselves, but I invite you to work your way from kind of top to bottom on the ears. One of these days I'll study the map of the ears, hands, and feet and really know the reflexology, but it is my understanding that we have a map to all our internal organs. It's mapped in our ears, hands, and feet. So I'm uncurling the outer edges of the ears. Your ears might start to feel very warm very quickly. Finally, just making your way down, just stretching the earlobes a little bit. And taking your index fingers in and rolling them around, kind of stretching the inner parts of the ear. Then you could take those index fingers and put them over your ears, although it makes it hard to hear me, but you can just give a little pulse, a little wiggle, a little pressing of your index fingers in to the ear canal. Nice. And then let's travel the hands down and kind of comb down the neck. Okay, so this is considered to be cooling gesture to cool. We want our hearts open, but if they're too fiery, we might say something we regret. So we're cooling the heart. Nice, nice. Good. And then let's take the hands up over the head and softly trace some of these lines of the body. You could lengthen your legs if you felt like it. You're going to trace down the back of the skull, along the back of your neck, really imagining every place that your hands touch, healing comes. Bring your hands together, draw it down through the heart. Wrap your palms around your rib cage, reach toward the back, as far up your back body as you can. Slide your palms down your low back, around the outside of your hips, down the outside of your legs, in the direction of your feet, over the tops of the feet, kind of tracing the channels here, interior of the legs. Nice. And then back, you can kind of recross your legs if you undid them. And then taking a minute or two here to massage our hands. Right? So you can just go right, right for the center of the palm with your thumb if you want. Right? And your just intention is to relieve a little tension. Maybe say thank you to your hands. You can give a little squeeze in that webbing between the thumb and the pointer finger. And sometimes it feels good to just pull off each finger. Just kind of flick it. Right? We'll give the other hand some attention. So if you did that kind of lengthening and pulling off the fingers, go right ahead. And then lastly, we'll interlace the fingers and just kind of roll the hands around. And if you want to include rolling of the elbows, you could do that. And if there was a way to reverse that, you could do so. Not sure. Nice. And then release your hands. Bring your palms to your knees. And for these last 5 minutes, either lay down or stay seated for a relaxation guidance. Okay? So you're seated or you are down, and you don't have to have your ankles crossed. You can definitely be asymmetrically placed or one leg out if you've got a cranky knee. So with the eyes closed, I want you to sensitize yourself to your own vibration, your own sense of being in your body. And it's time for reflection. I was reading a book about wisdom, and the author said that in the United States, we have far less reflection time than any other country in the world. We're always on the go, pushing, achieving. And so reflection doesn't mean ruminating. It means just opening up, present, free to drift or dream, free to wonder, and free to behold beauty. John O'Donohue, poet, philosopher from the Celtic tradition, really resonate with a lot of what he writes. And this is a book called Beauty. To behold beauty dignifies your life. It heals you and calls you out beyond the smallness of your own self-limitation, so you can experience new horizons. To experience beauty is to have your life enlarged. To experience beauty is to have your life enlarged. So I invite you into a minute or two of quiet, just with that word enlarged, relating to that quality of being spacious, enlarged in your sense of connectivity to the oneness, and your capacity to just be at ease. I invite you to take a few deep breaths. If you're home and you wanted to remain reclining, you certainly could do that. I guess we could do that out here if you wanted. But we'll prepare to bring ourselves up to a seat. And then into a standing circle. So it's form a circle from here. Those at home, you're in a circle of one. Here's some words of wisdom from the Tao Te Ching, modern language. This is called balance. The sage or the wise one has achieved life's balance. Work gives way to rest and returns again to work without resistance. Health gives way to illness and returns again to health without worry. Life gives way to death and returns again to life without fear. So let the yin and the yang of life do their dance in perfect harmony. Everything has its place and time. The coming and the going is not a problem. It's not stability that you need, it's balance. So let's make that gesture with the right fist, symbolizing our strength, and open left fist, wrapping it around. As this is the warrior and the scholar. There's lots of ways to think about it, masculine and feminine. But just take a look and just see and contemplate just that word balance.
Excuse me.
And then draw that mudra, that hand position in nice and close. Take a look around to see who's here, who shared the time with you. And let's just give a bow to the center, to the oneness. Yes. Thank you all.
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Thanks. Ah, good.
It's so nice, right?
Really.
How are you?
Thank you.
Thank you, Shelley.